What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melford No Reaction. How you doing? How you doing? It's been a while, but hey, I've been busy for a while. Mostly distracted, but I don't know. But yeah, so today we'll be well. I've been looking around. So I know you guys like my last video about talking about how Halloween was better in the '90s and the '80s. So I want to look deeper in YouTube, and there was another channel called '90s Rewind who did a two-parter of called Why Halloween Was Better in the '90s, which was a two-parter. One was 4 years ago, one was I think was 2 years ago or three, because the second part mentioned they're gonna make a second Hocus Pocus, so this has to be before it was released. So, I want to check this out. And before we begin, did you subscribe? Hit the bell. Sorry. Did you subscribe? Hit the bell. If so, bless. Damn, we're almost end of September and the beginning of October, folks. It's gonna be October's around the corner. But yeah, I still have some goodies for y'all for October. Don't worry. I might plan to do like a couple reactions, mostly for scary content. My usual reviews on Halloween specials. Hey, I know you guys love my thoughts on different Halloween specials. I usually try to dig up in my noggin which Halloween special I saw as a kid, maybe bring that back to life so many others can rewatch it and enjoy it back when they were kids. Hey, like I did with, I think the most popular one you guys mentioned, I think it was 2 years ago, was the House of Mouse one, Ghost House. You know which one I'm talking about when when Pete tried to scare Mickey and the rest of the guests with the hitchhiking ghost from the Haunted Mansion, and it backfired on him, and it scared him instead, which and gave us a jazzy version of Grim Grinning Ghost from, I forgot his name. What was his name? Ezra. Yeah, I got Ezra, Gus, and shit. I forgot the name of the other guy. Was it Gus? Oh yeah, Philip. I think. Yeah, Philip, Gus, and Ezra. Gus was the short one. Phil was the bigger guy, and Ezra, he looks like the skinny version of the Hatbox Ghost. Damn. Actually, let's try to dig up more if there's anything good. I think there was also a Halloween special for Doug, if I recall. I might do a review on that. If I recall, that was their first. I think they did like their first movie. It was like a Halloween special movie. I recall. I remember seeing when I watched. I had VHS tapes, and they were promoting Doug first movie. It's like a Halloween special because his dog was dressed as a ghost. So, I might check that out for all time's sake from memory lane. What else? Oh yeah, they mentioned the Family Matter was from season 78. Steve-O, I'll be talking about that one as well. Which, hey, I'm sorry, when I saw those two Halloween specials from Family Matter, I was like, that was from 1998 to 1997. Dude, I was like 1 or 2 years old. Jesus Christ, I was a toddler. Still a toddler back in those days. I still remember watching TV. Hey, people say, "Oh, it's brain rot." Dude, I did smash work my butt off, earn my 3 degrees in 3 different universities. What you talking about? Jesus Christ. But yeah. But okay, enough of me talking. Let's go for the reactions. What you guys been waiting for? So yeah. Before we begin, did you subscribe? Hit the bell. Yada yada yada. Wah 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 wah. Yahoo. Let's check out what '90s Rewind has in store this delicious, haunting Halloween season. Well, it's spooky season, so deal with it. And you know what's crazy? They're already bringing out the Christmas decorations. They're like, you better put that shit back in the closet because it's spooky season, not holiday season.
The 90s were arguably the best
Hey,
time
this is
for
the
a
guy.
kid to experience Halloween. In honor of the days when pillowcases were packed with sour candy and the streets were brimming with trick-or-treating kids, we're highlighting 13 things we loved about Halloween in the 90s.
Wendy.
Number 13, Double Double, Toil and Trouble. Double Double, Toil and Trouble was a 1993 made-for-TV movie starring Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. The movie is about two twins who discover that their great aunt, played by Clora...
Here's a fun fact. I never saw that. I heard of these two. I seen, like, you know, promotions for their films, especially this one. I never seen it, but I seen the image of the VHS cover of these two sitting on a jack-o'-lantern. I don't get it.
Sleechman has been trapped and cursed by her evil twin sister. The movie was nominated for an Emmy for its music, and Mary-Kate and Ashley won a Young Artist Award for their work in the film. Depending on your age, you probably regarded this movie as slightly scary or sort of stupid, but we're willing to bet that most kids that grew up in the 90s can recall it playing in the background of an October sleepover. Number 12, Nick or Treat.
Oh, I remember.
Nick or Treat was a Halloween special that aired on Nickelodeon every year from 1985 to 2002.
Oh, yeah,
In this
I remember.
primitive version of Trivia HQ, kids could call in and play a trick-or-treat game on the TV. They'd have 40 seconds to visit 6 houses by pressing numbers on their phone to open the doors. Some houses even featured monsters from Real Monsters. Not every house packed a prize, but the ones that did offered things like video games, toys, CDs, or the Nickelodeon Pack, which was the biggest prize on the show and offered an assortment of gifts from different shows. Number 11, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a collection of 3 books written by Alvin Schwartz and illustrated by Stephen Gammell. The stories themselves were primarily based upon folklore and urban legends, but most would agree that it is Gammell's illustrations that made the trilogy so special. Quite frankly, some of them are downright disturbing, and a handful of images from the 82 story collection are probably still burned into the consciousness of countless 90s kids. Some of the most haunting include The Red Spot, Harold, Sam's New Pet, and The Haunted House. Predictably, the series was frequently opposed by parents groups and other critics, with the series being listed by the American Library Association as the most challenged series of books from the 90s. The collection has been called sick, repulsive, really disgusting.
Grow up. You want something funny? Look what I have here. Hey, my favorite. I love these. You want also the fun fact? I have these 3 as well, but unfortunately, these ain't of the original artwork. These are the updated artwork. These 3. I bought these at a book fair back in middle school. I think it was back in 2011. These came out like I didn't understand these. Like, okay, I kind of like the artwork because usually I sketch the tombstone, like literally sketched the tombstone and nobody's actually gonna look alike, so got me into drawing some horror art. Until I realized, oh wait, there's a movie based on this? Until I realized, oh, different art. I've seen this art before. And I got my hands on this beauty. And to tell you the truth, I also got my hands on this one, which is the same, but I like even the plastic bag. This is actually the same, but this is actually came out when this is actually a promotion from promoting the movie. You know which one? That came out in 2018. Jesus Christ. I love them. Including this, Goosebumps, you name it. Jesus. And the fact this was actually the most banned book in the 90s. I mentioned these before, but fuck them. You know why? They felt to check out, if you know the art for Alvin Schwartz, he does his research, and they're based on folklore, different stories from different parts of the world, and these parents who don't even check the back of the references. Because, hey, kids love to read, and he's got them reading. What? The parents don't like it because they want to read? They want to act like some bunch of hillbilly pill chucking, well, you know what I'm going to say. Buffoons? Jesus Christ. Hey, me? I enjoyed reading. I love horror stories and that. I just like how people describe it as repulsive, sick, really disgusting. Like, you're lucky if I had time travel, I caught you talking about that. Let's see who you're sleeping with. And who you're cheating. But yeah. Jesus Christ, I tell you what. People need... It's something like different now. Like, people keep playing about censorship. Like, in Florida, they started banning books because of, you know, they went, oh, we can't have different type of story. We have to be one mind. Recently today, I think it was yesterday today, they were honoring the memory of Roberto Clemente. If you know who he is, he's a famous baseball player who played for the Pittsburgh Pirates and also known as a great legend here in Puerto Rico who died during a humanitarian cause along with other passengers. I think it was around off the coast of South America. The plane crashed into the sea. Yeah, one of his books got banned in Florida. Like, huh? Oh, so you don't know about great people, it has to be white. There's more great people than color skin, you know, dum-dums. And they're actually challenging it, and good. They challenged it, because there's a bunch of idiots who need to get their butts out of office where they don't belong. But that's a different story and different topic. We're talking about Halloween, not politics. Let's continue.
Disgusting and not appropriate for children. This has led, also predictably, to increasing the appeal for riveted kids during their elementary school library time. In 2011, an edition of the series was published with the new illustrations that paled in comparison, but subsequent versions have thankfully returned to the originals. The 2019 film produced by Guillermo del Toro was released to positive reviews and profitable box office numbers. Number 10.
It's kind of weird they didn't do a sequel of it, because they've written there's 3 books, so why didn't do a sequel if it was so successful? It's kind of weird that they never do a sequel to Scary Stories, because there are 3 books. That should have been, like, did a sequel. Like, it was successful critically and the box office, and yet nothing. It leaves us with a cliffhanger of what happened. Like, yeah, they left the girl... Her friend's sister and her dad left the town. The guy who was with them, went to Nam after facing his fears because, hey, that was the time back then, draft dodgers. And now she just mentioned that how she's going to figure out how to bring her friends back, which, that's a good question, which we never got a sequel to. Shit. I would love to see if Guillermo del Toro might do a sequel of this, but right now, he's now planning to release his version of Frankenstein on Netflix in 2 months from now. Which I'm looking forward to. Yeah! But okay.
And then there was Sean.
Who?
Airing on February 27th, 1998, this episode in Boy Meets World's 5th season was a departure from the show's typical tone. It was essentially a short surrealist slasher film with homages to many horror movies, including 1996's Scream. This included guest star Jennifer Love Hewitt from the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise, who appeared in the episode as Jennifer Love Pfefferman. The episode's dark storyline both frightened and intrigued young viewers who were surprised to witness the on-screen deaths of their favorite sitcom characters. Despite this, the episode is now regarded as one of the series' best, and some call it the best Halloween episode of any TV show. Number 9, McDonald's Halloween Buckets.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's Halloween Buckets were originally released in the 80s, but they received a makeover for the 90s. Available with the purchase of a Happy Meal, they became the vessel of choice for many trick-or-treating kids. The decade saw several versions, and there were a few years that skipped the buckets altogether. The most famous lineup included the McWitch, McBoo, and a glow-in-the-dark McGhost. One year even included cookie cutters in the lids for making treats at home. In the latter part of the decade, the buckets featured full Halloween scenes instead of specific characters. While these symbols of the season continued in some form into the 2010s, McDonald's hasn't offered them since 2016. Number 8, Scream. Scream is an American slasher film which premiered in 1996. The movie was inspired by the real-life Gainesville Ripper and follows a teenage girl who becomes the target of a mysterious killer that wears the now popular Ghostface mask. The film features many satires of classic horror movies like Halloween and Friday the 13th. What made the film distinct was its self-referential humor. The characters were fully aware of existing horror movie cliches and discussed them openly. Scream was very well received and subsequently became the highest-grossing slasher film for more than 2 decades. It received many nominations and awards, especially for its music, and was credited for revitalizing horror. Its cult status inspired 3 more movies, although only the second one was successful. It also led to a 3-season TV series on MTV, and a 5th movie is currently in development with a target release date of January 2022.
I think there's already 6 by now. They're gonna sell them.
Hola, mamá.
Hello.
Estoy aquí pescando, así que seguro te pierdo.
You won't lose me.
¿Y de dónde tú saliste?
What the?
And a 5th movie is currently in development with a
There's 6
target
now.
release
They're
date
gonna
of
sell 'em.
January 2022. Number 7. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was a Canadian TV show that played on Nick from 1991 to 1996 and has probably inspired millions of nightmares since its debut. Its pilot, The Tale of the Twisted Claw, premiered on October 25th, 1991 as part of Nick's Halloween programming. The show revolved around a group of teenagers known as the Midnight Society. Every episode featured a member of the society telling a different story around the campfire at night. Storylines included urban legends, the paranormal, fairy tales, and more. Each episode began with a...
I'm sorry, why people say that the clown's the most scariest one of all? Yeah, look at that frightening. When the kid sees the actual clown in the mirror, that looks frightening. But hey, both are the clown. But damn, Are You Afraid of the Dark? You know what's funny? When the Goosebumps started their series, Are You Afraid of the Dark was in their 4th season when Goosebumps started in 1995, and it ended between the middles of Are You Afraid of the Dark seasons, I think it was season 6 or season 7, since Goosebumps ran from 1995 until 1998. Yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark had another green light from 97 until 2000 of the original run. Later, like in the early 2010s, they had different reboots. You know that. They're reboot arcs. But I've seen episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, which are pretty cool. Some of them, hey, I'm a sucker for campfire stories. I wish we could do like campfire stories here. That'll be great memories, but hey, Perico. We can't have nice things here. We got a bunch of idiots here. Woohoo! Continuing.
member who's telling the story saying, submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story, and then whatever the story was named.
Yeah.
The phrase submitted for the approval was thrown in as a tribute to Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone. The storyteller would then throw midnight dust on the fire, which would produce flames and white smoke. What was the magic dust? Named. The phrase submitted for the approval was the paranormal, fairy tales, and more. Each episode began with a member who's telling the story saying, submitted for the
approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story total bullshit in this reality here. What? Make my believe. Hey. I get my best, huh? But continuing.
Approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story, and then whatever the story was named. The phrase submitted for the approval was thrown in as a tribute to Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone. The storyteller would then throw midnight dust on the fire, which would produce flames and white smoke. What was the magic dust? Non-dairy coffee creamer.
Really?
VHS copies of Are You Afraid of the Dark were released in 1994 and 1995, and a PC game was released in 1994. There were also board games and books inspired by the TV show. There have been several revivals since the original series, including a miniseries which premiered in October of 2019 and was just renewed for a second season. There is also a proposed Paramount movie which was unfortunately cancelled. Number 6. Count Chocula and Frank...
Seriously? Paramount was planning to do a movie based on Are You Afraid of the Dark? I wonder why they canceled it. I think it's because they want to do, since, I think it was, who was it then? Wait, who greenlit I think it was Columbia, that made the two Goosebumps movies, and were both that were both successful in the box office, which kind of weird why they didn't do a movie based on Are You Afraid of the Dark, since they're the ones who started and yet they didn't do a movie. Ain't that weird? But yeah, maybe because of lack of script or people not interested. I wonder why. But hey, let's continue.
Berry cereals. General Mills first released their monster cereal line in 1971, each featuring a different classic movie monster. In the 90s, there were 4. Count Chocula was chocolate flavored, and Frankenberry was strawberry flavored. Blueberry was, yeah, you guessed it, blueberry flavored, and Fruity Yummy Mummy featured a general fruit flavor before it was discontinued in 1992. While the monster cereals were initially offered year-round, since 2010 they have only been manufactured and distributed around Halloween time. Number 5, Casper.
Oh, yeah.
Universal's Casper premiered in 1995, and it featured special effect technology that was cutting edge at the time. For example, it was the first movie that used a fully CGI character in its lead role. In fact, Casper used more CG shots than the entirety of the movie Jurassic Park. The film, which took a darker tone than the Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoon that inspired it, received mixed reviews. Some praised it for its faithfulness to the source material, while others criticized its humor and dark tone. Overall, it made $287 million.
I'm sorry. I just read out. It's the window guy where the dad looks in the mirror. He sees, okay, first one was Clint Eastwood, Rodney Dangerfield. I forgot the name of the other guy. I think he was one of the James Bonds. And then the Crypt Keeper. The fact that they got Rodney Dangerfield doing a little cameo in the mirror, like, hey, what are you looking at, huh? And Clint Eastwood, you talking to me? You're talking to me? And I think I don't know who was the other one. I don't know. I think it was one of the James Bonds, I believe. Yeah, I reckon it's a face, but it could be one of the James Bonds. And of course, the last one that made it laugh more was the Crypt Keeper, which. And that scene where he rips the shower curtain and it's just fast on the shower. Oh boy. The Ghostly Trio. Damn. But of course, this guy.
On a $55 million budget, and it inspired many follow-up films and even an animated series, The Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper. Oddly, a theatrical sequel never came to fruition due to a lackluster response to the rushed direct-to-video follow-ups. Number 4, Halloween Town.
Oh. Shit.
Prueba las nuevas swap de sabores. Spoiler alert. Confuso hasta probarlas.
Buzzer.
Halloween Town is a 1998 Disney Channel original movie that starred Kimberly J. Brown and Debbie Reynolds. It is the first installment in what would become a 4-film series. The movie is about a 13-year-old girl named Marnie who discovers that her estranged grandmother is a witch who lives in a fantastical world called Halloween Town with all sorts of paranormal, monster, and fairy tale creatures. Marnie follows her mother to Halloween Town to begin her own witch training, and together with her family they end up saving the town from the evil Mayor Calabar. One magazine rated the film as number 9 on its 40 best Disney Channel original movies list. The original movie was filmed in Oregon and has since developed a cult-like following, leading to a month-long festival celebrating the film each year in St. Helens, the main shooting location. The celebration typically features costume contests, haunted houses, and even special appearances and panels with actors from the film. Number 3, McNugget Buddies. The McNugget Buddies just might be the most popular McDonald's Happy Meal toy of all time. While an original set was introduced in 1988, it was the Halloween sets of 1992 and 1996 that are most remembered. Each set included a potato-shaped McNugget Buddy and a costume to dress them up in. The popularity of the toys was reinforced with a series of TV commercials where the buddies were portrayed by lovable little chicken nugget puppets. Yes, I just said chicken nugget puppets. Number 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Chicken Nugget
Tim
Puppets.
Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas came out in 1993. Puppets. Yes, I just said chicken nugget puppets. Number 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course.
Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas came out in 1993 and has since become a Halloween classic. This stop-motion animated film follows Jack Skellington, who leaves his home of...
Okay, it's really true. Everybody heard about this. This film is perfect for Halloween and for Christmas. It's both a Halloween film and a Christmas film. And it works. Hey. Well, you also have Edward Scissorhands. It can be both a Halloween film and a Christmas film. Well, it ain't said Halloween, but it does have that gothic tone, but it's still a good movie. Like, damn. And also, rest in peace, Vincent Price. That was his last film playing as the inventor. And also, he's also Tim Burton's Heroes as well. He did narration for his stop motion short film Vincent, which is also pretty cool as well. But continuing here.
Halloween Town and becomes obsessed with Christmas after he wanders into Christmas Town. Burton originally considered releasing the story as a children's book or a short film before it became a full-length feature. An integral part of the film is the music, composed by Danny Elfman, who also provides the singing voice for Jack. During its filming peak, 20 individual stages were used simultaneously, and in total, there were 109,440 frames taken for the film. 227 different puppets were used in all, and Jack alone employed around 400 different heads to make him extremely expressive. Disney originally released the film under Touchstone Pictures because the studio thought that it would be too dark and scary for kids. Later, it was re-released under Walt Disney Pictures, and it became the first stop-motion movie to be fully converted to 3D. It has achieved cult status, and its characters can now be seen annually in the Disney parks, in the seasonal Haunted Mansion overlay, as well as Disney World's Halloween Spectacular, which is hosted by Jack. Number 1. Hocus Pocus. Of course, Hocus Pocus was going to be number 1. The film premiered in 1993 and was directed by Kenny Ortega, who also directed High School Musical and Newsies and choreographed Dirty Dancing, Pretty in Pink, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The story is about 3 witches, played by Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, who are resurrected on Halloween.
And the fact they released this film, a Halloween film, in July. Why in July? If this film wasn't released in July, maybe around September or early October, it would have been successful. It would have been a hit. But why in July? I have no idea why. The same with the Haunted Mansion. I don't know which month they released it in. I remember... Okay, I'm talking about the 2023 one because... It should have been a good one to release maybe in September. But they released it in July as well. And a bad timing because of, the box office booming of Oppenheimer and Barbie. Yeah. The film was... I consider the film better than the Eddie Murphy one. Like I said before. How I rank this... Muppets Haunted Mansion, 2023, and 2003. There.
Night in Salem, Massachusetts by a teenage boy. The film's original working title was Halloween House, and it was initially pitched to Steven Spielberg, but he refused the project as he saw Disney as a competitor to his own production company, Amblin. The movie was originally going to be much scarier and darker, and Leonardo DiCaprio was originally offered the lead role of Max, but he declined to pursue What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Most of production took place on a soundstage in Burbank, California, but some scenes were actually filmed on location in Salem with the core cast. The film was not successful upon release, and Disney actually lost approximately $16.5 million on it. However, annual airings on Freeform and the Disney Channel have led it to become a cult classic and an essential part of many families' Halloween celebrations. Bette Midler referred to the movie as the most fun I'd had in my career up to that point. For Hocus Pocus fans, there's good news. A sequel is currently in development for the Disney Plus streaming service, and the 3 leads have all confirmed that they will be participating in the film. A release date and director have yet to be announced. Thank you for joining us as we relived the top 13 things we loved about Halloween in the 90s. If you think we missed anything, please let us know in the comments. And special thanks goes out to Miriam Merrill and Kian Dowdy for making this video possible.
Well then, like I said before, some of these are actually outdated because this video is from 4 years ago. You can tell this was 4 plus 2022. I think this film was released this video came out in 2021 or 2020. Hey. But yeah. It's hard to see a rewind about what was good back in the good old days. Hey. Nowadays, people, it's just it lost its touch. Literally lost its touch of what makes October great. Like, who remembers seeing the Disney Channel during October? I remember it like it was yesterday. Like the nostalgia of all the old bumpers. Like, what was the next? Okay, what's gonna be the Halloween special for this and that? Including the original Disney movie, Halloween movies like Halloween Town, Twitches, The Little Vampire. What else? What else? Fat on the Megaplex, Under Wraps, and so many more. Damn. Even the Halloween specials for like their shows like Sweet Light Zack and Cody. Who remembers the Ghosts of Sweet 16316, I believe? Dude, that was when I saw that trailer, like that bummer, like, oh. And that's when I first started watching the Sweet Live, like, because of that episode, like, ooh. Oh my god, oh god, the ending, damn. I did a review on that like a couple years ago and people liked it. Then I did one for the Sweet Live on Deck, The Ghost of Mr. Martin. Which, a homage to The Ghost of Mrs. Muir and the Don Knotts one, The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. And set in New Orleans. Perfect. I just like how Mosby, the actor plays, Mr. Mosby plays the piano, like whenever he's a pianist, and so, like this old school piano playing. Well, Zach sees the spirit of the steamboat captain, riding out with his love, and out of nowhere we see a ghost of a Louisiana steamship passing by the SS Tipton under the full moon vanishes. And also I did like the homage to Ghostbusters, which both Cody, Zach, and what was the name of the nerd guy? Shit. Damn, I forgot his name. He was a funny one, actually. And he's actually a lovable guy in real life. But yeah. I like how both Zach and Cody and Haley keep pronouncing weird things like jambalaya. Shit. And those just out of fun, like. But yeah. I think that'll be it for today. Sorry. But I think that'll be it for today. I'm planning to do another reaction for the second parter. But hey, until then, stay safe. Peace out. I hope you have a great time. And also, the night is still young, but hey, October's around the corner, so let's get spooky. Until then, peace out. Peace.